You. It sounds like you got a pretty good property. Can I ask you what's got you wanting to sell it?
Oh, wait a minute. What's that? A baby?
Yeah.
You got a baby while you trying to buy my house, man.
Yeah, my baby needs some shoes.
I know that's right. And let them explain why they're saying that thing they're saying. Make a sense?
Yeah. So how
Yeah.
so when you have the multiple properties and I asked about doing like a package, what's a better way of me approaching like that situation with somebody like that?
I think you did well with that. Just asking. It's just a question. See, that's the thing. Don't get caught up in trying to close somebody. We just want to understand their mindset. Would you sell it as a package? Yeah, I would sell it as a package. No, I want to sell them individually as they get empty. I want to ask the question and give them a chance to tell me no. So I can know where we got to go with this guy. Is this guy going to work with me or he going to be an a-hole? Because if he an a-hole, the price going even lower now because I got to deal with the a-hole factor. They're going to be difficult on this part. What else they're going to be difficult with later? When I need them to sign paperwork, show up to closings, do all this other stuff. Because when we get under contract, we're married. We got to get to the finish line. I want to know what other problems I'm going to run into with this person. Is this person going to be my friend to the end? Or are they going to be, oh, no, what you need to do all that for? What you asking that for? Huh? What's wrong with you? That's fine. I don't even mind them being a little mean. I prefer a mean customer, to be honest. Nobody else going to work with them. They're going to give up. They mean. I don't care about nobody being mean. Sign this dang on paper, do this business. In fact, I would argue people who are so-called mean are willing to do business with you before these people that are being your friend. You'll be on there getting stuck in the friend zone. Oh, they my friend, and they never sign no paperwork, never do no business. We don't want that.
You got
All
time
that's
for one
making
more
sense?
mock call?
Yeah, that's good.
You got time for another mock call?
Yep. All of the ARVs are 300,000, by the way. No matter what, it's always 300,000 is ARV, and you got 5 minutes on the clock. Art, ring, ring, with a baby in the hand.
Wait, what's the scenario though? Is this a cold call? I'm calling
Ring,
you.
ring, ring, ring,
Wait, am I call who calling? You
ring,
calling
ring.
me?
I'm calling you. Ring, ring.
Okay. Hello, this is Art. How may I help you?
Hey, Art, I got a voicemail from you about my house.
Yeah, are you the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yeah, that's my house. What's going on?
The reason for my call is to see if you're interested in selling this property.
Yeah, I sell it for the right price.
All right, how much is the right price?
You tell me. You said you wanted to buy it. What would you give me for it?
All right, well, I'll just need to get a little bit of information about the condition of the property and what's going on with it. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
I got 3 minutes before I got to go into a meeting.
All right, so can you tell me a little bit about what's going on with the property?
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The tenants just moved out on the 1st of this month, so it's been vacant about 2 weeks now.
Oh, okay. Well, what's your plans with the property?
I was thinking about just renting it back out, but if you call me and say you want to buy it, I said let me see what I can get for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We buy properties as is for cash, and we can close pretty quickly as well. So I would love to get an offer over to you. Can you tell me about the condition that the property is in and what repairs are needed?
Oh, it's in pretty good shape. They just moved out. They didn't tear up the house or anything. I mean, you need like basic stuff like cleaning up, stuff like that, but nothing major. All the systems are good. Everything's good. You can move right in it.
Oh man, sounds like you lucked out, man. I had a tenant up in the property and they trashed it, and I had to do with all them repairs. So it's really, really
Oh,
good for
no.
you. It sounds like you got a pretty good property. Can I ask you what's got you wanting to sell it?
Oh, wait a minute. What's that? A baby?
Yeah.
You got a baby while you trying to buy my house, man.
Yeah, my baby needs some shoes.
I know that's right.
But yeah, I know you said you only got a few minutes to talk. But can I ask what's got you wanting to sell the property?
Oh, I was just curious to see what I can get for it since they just moved out. I was just gonna see if, I got a bunch of people calling me and dropping postcards and stuff. So I said, let me just call a few of these people back, see what I can get for it.
Right. How much do you think the house is worth?
On Zillow, it said 300,000.
Hmm.
So if I can
So
get
yeah,
something
on the
close to that, that
Zestimate.
probably be good. Yeah, Zestimate said 300,000. So if I get something close to that, I'm good.
All right, and then if we could work everything out, how soon would you like to close?
And before the month is out would be better because then I ain't got to pay that next loan payment.
Okay. Did you did you think about listing this property with a real estate agent?
Nah, I haven't looked into that.
Okay. And one other thing I wanted to ask you is, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we pay you off in full?
How would that work?
The way it would work is pretty simple. Honestly, we would just come to an agreement on the terms, which is the monthly payment and the purchase price. And then, once we have all of that good to go, we'll get that over to the title company. It goes through just like any other traditional sale. We get title insurance, real estate attorneys involved. We get it closed, and we do a couple of these every year. So it's pretty simple, just like any other payment arrangement. Is that something that you would be interested in?
I don't know about that. No, I got a loan on it, so I can't do that. My bad. I forgot I got a mortgage. So no, I won't be able to do that.
Oh, okay. It's no problem at all. We actually bond with mortgages in place as well. We could take over the payments, and the way we would do that is we would just leave a payment in place, and then we would just continue making that payment every month. Is that something that sounds like you might be interested in?
I don't know. I never really heard of this. I'll look into it, but is it a way? I guess I don't know. I have to look into something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I said, we actually do this a few times a year. We have plenty of references. I could get you on and link with our title company and the attorneys who will be closing the deal. We use Indiana Title out here, but I mean, are there any questions that you have and specifically about how it will work?
Yeah, I do, but I actually gotta go because it's my meeting's about to start. Maybe we can just continue this maybe tomorrow, like after 10. Can you call back tomorrow after 10?
Absolutely. Would 10:30 work for you?
Sounds good. And what was your name?
My name is Art Robertson. I'm with First Choice Property Solutions. And I'm sorry, what is your name, sir?
Chris Cashflow Money Monroe.
Chris Cashflow Money Monroe. That was my granddad name. Would you believe that?
Dang.
Okay,
All
Chris. I
right.
look
Thank
forward
you.
to talking to you.
I
I'll
look
call you
forward to
tomorrow at
talking to you tomorrow.
10:30. Yes, sir. Thank you very
All
much.
right,
Bye.
gotta go. See ya. Click. All right. What you think about that, Jim? Since you're chewing on some good chews down there, how was that called?
I was going to say one of the things I would have done is he did really good, by the way, but the one I'm focusing on right now is subject to. So when I heard you say that I just need to make that mortgage payment next month, that always leads me right into the thing where it sounds like that mortgage payment is, something that's a weight or something like that. That's something that you're considering. I usually use that as an excellent lead into. I can make that mortgage payment for you. How would it work? Would it work out for you if I just made that payment for you starting next month? And then that just gets the conversation going.
And that's all we're looking to do. We're not gonna solve every one of his problems right there, especially if they already know it's a short call and it's just an entry call. We don't know this guy, and that's the thing with this creative stuff. Don't think you have to close them on the first call. You just need to plant seeds to where they want to be curious to know, how could this work? I want to know more about it. We're just planting the seed to have a longer conversation at a later time when you got their undivided attention. But yeah, that's a good
And the
assessment
other
there,
thing
Jim.
And the other thing I would say is what led me to think along those lines is because, number one, the guy owns a lot of properties. He already had a tenant in there. All those things kind of lead me to believe, it's an assumption, but lead me to believe that the mortgage may have been in place for a little while. So the fact that he's worried about making his payment, it sounds like he's up to date on his payments. So that's another really good thing. So yeah, that's.
Say that your spidey senses was going off. Anybody else with feedback about that call?
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. Anybody else with feedback about that call?
First thing, I think really awesome when it came to when the baby started to cry. He didn't lose his focus. He didn't throw the baby to the side and be like, all right, yeah, this baby's got to go. Nah, I mean, he stuck through it, and that was really good. Just picking back off of what Jim was just saying about the loan. I don't know if it's intrusive in the beginning to ask, like, okay, Chris, I mean, you got a loan. How much are you paying on that mortgage? Each month. That way, you have a price point of how much you would have to take over if it's worth it. I don't know if that's something you would ask right away or not, but that's one thing that stuck out to me. Other than that, I mean, he's stuck into it. He didn't let anything.
I typically wouldn't recommend asking that on an initial call, on a brief call that quick. I mean, you can, but I would rather not. I need to understand their pain and stuff a little more so I know how to handle them. If he ain't got no pain, like real pain that I can really solve his problems, I don't really want to get that deep in the weeds until we're on the actual closing call when I got his undivided attention. He already told me I got 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And it was only going to be a 5-minute call because it's for this training. It's going to be quick. So your job is to put, good questions in there to know if there's somebody you need to call back or you're wasting time even talking to this person. You're basically trying to disqualify a person. How do I let them disqualify themselves?
Yeah, makes sense. Other than that, I mean, kudos, because if that was me with a kid, I'd be like, shit, we got to go.
And you wouldn't believe how many single mothers and stuff that I've trained in the past, like, oh, but I got my baby, I can't talk to people. I'm like, man, get on the phone. Don't about no baby crying. I'm making noise in the background. We finna get on this phone, make this money. Baby needs some shoes. Art knew what to do. We leveraging all background, all issues.
Yeah, make the call more authentic.
I made my first wholesale deal, and it was with my grandson with me. And the reason I got the deal was because I had the grandson with me.
That's facts.
So I need to go find me a kid.
No.
He's gonna make a baby just to go try to get a deal.
I don't want to eat your sherbet.
Chris, what feedback you got?
Let me see if there's anybody else. Cass, did you have something?
Well, I was gonna, basically, I just wanted to find out, because I know you've done subject to, and if I come across a subject to, someone who's willing to do a subject to, what type of questions do they usually, the homeowners usually ask? As far as, like when you do, mention about subject to, taking over their loans or existing financing, what kind of questions they usually ask?
All different types of questions. Let me mute this too so I don't echo. So they ask a lot of questions. Some don't ask any. I bought several where they don't really ask much, but then there's some people that are very detailed. How will this work? How do I know you're going to make the payment? How does insurance work if the house burns down? How does those are the main things they ask. Basically, how do we know you're going to do what you're going to do? Things like that. But I do have a frequently asked question template. I don't know. Did I send that to you on the email? I don't know if I did. I'll resend it out again. That has a template of the most frequently asked questions and basically an answer already to the most frequently asked questions, which comes back to insurance, making a payment, things like that. But that's a whole subset of all this that I can go over in a separate thing, if that's better. If that doesn't help. Let me
I've been
write that
door
down
knocking
here.
the pre-foreclosures, and I find a lot of times they don't even ask.
Yeah, they don't. If they got, and that's the thing, if they got enough pain, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
That's right.
That's why I say a lot of this stuff we be thinking about and worrying about. If that person hurting, if I say jump, they only say, Chris, how high? That's all that's coming out their mouth. They ain't saying, well, why you want me to jump? Why can't I leap? Why can't I do a bunny hop? They ain't asking all that. If they got pain and a real problem and you talking to people who have a situation that need to be solved, most of this stuff ain't really going to be a problem. Now, if you got somebody you trying to convince to sell a deal to you where you're sounding thirsty, like, you need to sell to me. Come on, you know you got an auction coming up. You need to sell it to me. And you talking like that or feeling like that, and they feel that off of you, you already lost the battle. I want them coming to me, not me chasing them. I don't want to chase sellers. I want to be kind of pulling away. Well, I mean, I don't know if this will work for us. It may not really work. I mean, what happens if you don't sell the property? I want them feeling that pain.
That's what I was going to say on the foreclosures, Chris. Is that's usually a question I'll ask somewhere along the line. Is, you know, where do you see yourself being, or what does it look like the day after the sale? And then that's, you know, sometimes the first time they really actually ever thought about it from that perspective. Like, you know, where are you going to be 2 weeks after the sale? And so just let them answer, because a lot of times they haven't thought about that.
This is almost like being an attorney. Like, they ask you questions when they kind of know the answer, but they ask it to make you answer so you can see how silly it sounds. You know, like, oh, you're going to sell this house, or where are you going to be moving to? You know, I didn't even think about that. And there's people that do this stuff every day. Your job is to ask good quality questions, allow them to answer, and let them lead themselves into it. That's really the art of closing. I don't really feel like I'm closing people sometimes. It's just more so I'm asking the question where when you answer it, you close yourself, because you see that stuff didn't even make sense what you just said. It didn't even add up. 2 + 2 is still 4.
And that's the thing I ask them too, Chris, because I'll talk to them on their doorstep and they'll tell me, oh, I'm just going to list it on the MLS for $300,000. And they're confident in what they're saying. And my question is what's your plan B? If it doesn't sell between now and 3 weeks or now and 4 weeks, then what?
Yeah. And I'll even go deep into educating them. I tell them, you know, if you put it on the MLS, let's say you took an offer tomorrow, as quick as tomorrow, it's going to take them 30 to 45 days to probably close it anyway, because they're doing a loan. But here's another kicker, Mr. Seller. Sometimes loans don't go through. Oh, I didn't think about that. I'll educate them on that level, but I don't give them a master class. I give them enough to scare them, but not enough to repair them. They're like, oh, they're like, what the heck? I didn't know that was gonna do all that. And it's some things they don't understand because they may have only did 1 or 2 deals their whole life. And so our job is to ask good questions, understand them, and try to deal with them accordingly. Any other feedback on Art's call before I give a little feedback on it?
I think just a little bit more emphasis on the third party stories. That's the only thing I
Ding,
see.
ding, 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 ding. Number 1 answer. That's exactly what I was going to say. Insert third party story. That's the only thing I would say work on, Art. When you were when I said how does that work, you went into, I guess, real estate mode of, oh yeah, my title company. What's a title company? You know, all this stuff. They don't. You got to bring it down to a 10-year-old can understand it. What we did in the past on a seller in a situation similar to yours is we structured a deal. We bought their house. We took over their payments that next month, and they never had to make that payment. They didn't have to fix anything. We made it easy for them. Now, what about that would not work for you? Well, what if I want to keep it a couple months after and live in it? Whatever. I don't know what they're going to say, but I want them. I'm trying to pull an objection out of them. I want the objections because I don't even know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking.
When
So
I now
yeah,
Definitely got to work on that.
Work on that third party story. That title company thing, that's not strong enough. It got to be something that's real. Facts tell, but stories sell. Get good at telling good stories. Practice a couple of stories. The same, you can tell the same story. You can tell one of my stories. Whatever, because I got a bunch of them. I've done deals. You've done deals. Use your story. This seller needed this, this, and this to happen, and this is how we overcame it. And they're like, wow, I didn't even know you could do that. And I'm not
That's
saying you have
crazy.
to.
I could have just used my real life example with a sub 2 I bought, and I could have just used that as the example.
When I knock on the doors, Chris, I usually try to give them two third-party stories within the first like 30 to 40 seconds, because usually I'm giving them two third-party stories, real quick ones, and I'll get them to identify with one or the other, and then that is usually the direction I know to go. But I'll throw one out there, see what kind of a response I get back from it. If I don't get anything, I'll go right to the next one, just lead right into the next one. And after I get to the second or third one, wait a minute, you can do that? Now I actually got a door open that I can walk into.
And that leads me to you now, Jim. Ring, ring.
Hello.
You, Jim. You left us. I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do.